I got in to a school I wanted to in Houston and a school in Austin, and I decided after going to the orientations that I wanted to be in Austin. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made. When I came here, I felt like I was completely enamored with the city and the vibe, and I felt for the first time in my life that I was in a city that felt like home.
Yeah, beat me up, Scotty. Mr. Tommy Wong looking for a new hottie. Wanna ride shot it while she gone off the molly. And best believe she just trying to kick it like a holly. Tommy Wong, I'm Kennedy, killing them every minute. They say when they talk and finish it. I don't care what they heard, cause you know their soul is diminishing. When I come around, I start spitting it straight replenishing. Anything I'm doing, you know they feeling the differences. What I be doing, killing this microphone every instance. T.O. double, man, they run in trouble. I told you before, I'll bring the bass, I'ma bring the trouble.
Podcast and stuff, we just started.
Okay.
Boom. Who am I here with today?
Caitlin.
Who is Caitlin?
That's a complicated question.
Question one, damn. I'm still waiting.
Okay. I don't know.
Oh man, who should I ask then? I was waiting.
Sorry, I'm freezing up.
Oh, you good. Don't worry. That's why God made editing.
Okay, good.
That's why.
Well, who am I? I would say I'm a creative spirit experiencing a life on this planet. That's what I would, yeah.
But so using that description, like what does that mean? Like I'm a creative spirit experiencing a life on this planet. So then where does that spirit even dwell from in the first place then?
That's the question, isn't it?
Well,
I don't know.
How do we find that out?
Some infinitesimal realm of existence. Man. Yeah.
That's crazy. I feel like I know where this is going. I feel like you're gonna be one of the tougher ones for me. There's this whole joke of on late night shows, they used to always say like Robert De Niro is like the worst one. I think with you is different. I think you're just nervous right now. But I think Robert De Niro's you have him on an interview and you're like, what time is it? He's like 5. What's your name? Rob. You know, and I'm like, oh shit, all right. So I feel like you're gonna make me work for it in the beginning.
Yeah, maybe.
But all right. What is your other name then? Not just Caitlin. The artist name.
My artist name, MOTHR or Mother.
Oh, wait. Have we all been saying it wrong?
Well, I don't know. No, I think Mother's fine as well.
I've never heard the other one to literally right. No one else has ever told me this.
I changed it
was it spelled the same way?
No, well, I used to, when I first started DJing and making music, I was going under a different moniker, just Legit. And then with my last relationship, we were in a DJ crew together called Wabi Sabi, and that partner and me, we ended up having a miscarriage, and I got really sick. And then afterwards, I just felt like a different person, and I was wanting to take my music in sort of a different way, and so that's when I changed it to MOTHR or Mother.
Okay.
And it kind of was like several meanings. Like one would be that at that time moths were kind of like my spirit animal, or like a symbol, and also I had just gone through the miscarriage, so I felt like I was birthing this new creative project out of all of that experience. And also in my friends group, a lot of people would tell me that I had like a very mothering energy. And so, yeah, it was kind of all that mixed in. Too.
And MOTHR? Is that? So, wait, so how does MOTHR? Okay, I guess. I just never thought of that.
Yeah.
It's probably because I think the first time I saw you was probably the New Year's Eve show.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so like I don't even know the spelling, and I think they just were like, that's Mother. So it's probably already instilled in me.
Yeah.
And then when I see the spelling, it's like it's still. I'm already trained to think it's MOTHR. But yeah, I've never heard anyone say MOTHR.
It's probably just me that says that.
Would you like the world to say MOTHR instead, or?
No, it's fine how it is.
Cause I'm like that makes me think of like like moths and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, is there any connection to that or?
Well, just that was kind of like the spirit animal at that time was like moths.
It's in my head. I'm thinking of Mothra, like Godzilla. I don't know. It's not the same, but that's just what I see. Anyway, I see him fighting right now. Yeah, they're actually about to put a new Godzilla out, so probably will suck because I think it's American. I feel like Americans always I don't know, like every time you get something from Japan, but then we Americanize it, I feel like it isn't always the best.
Yeah, it's watered down.
Yeah,
it's always watered down.
Then granted, Godzilla's origins I don't believe stem from anime, but yeah, also just certain live action things are not really, to me, ever the best interpretations of stories. But I think Godzilla is meant to be live action, so whatever. But how'd you get into music in general?
Well, I would say, this might sound cheesy, but I think my journey started when I was a kid and at the roller rink. I used to be a competitive speed skater, and a lot of the tracks that we would listen to at practice were electronic music. And
competitive speed skate. So is that like ice?
It was roller.
Okay, so but is that like is it roller derby where they're pitting, or is this like racing or something?
It's racing on roller. And actually a lot of my teammates and my coach's son and stuff, they all went over to ice and compete in the Olympics. And
oh shit.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the next level. If you wanted to compete in the Olympics, you'd have to switch over to ice.
So you start in wheels and get to ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe eventually they'll have roller speed skating in the Summer Olympics, maybe. They have World Cup and stuff like that.
Oh, man.
So
the hidden underground.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was really drawn to electronic music. I felt that it did something for my soul. And I remember being a kid, and I had my room all decked out in like disco lights and rope lights, and I would listen to the radio stations, at like 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning in my room.
Is that when they played the stuff here?
Yeah, or in Houston.
Or Houston. Oh, so that's where you originally from?
I was born in Houston, moved around some different places in the world, and then came back to Houston when I was 7 or 8 years old. And so I spent that time until about 15 in Houston. And so yeah, I would just listen to this music, and also at the same time I was really interested in like experimental hip-hop and experimental electronic music. And me and one of my friends, several of my friends, but one in particular who's still my friend today, this girl named Jenny, we used to just make each other mixtapes or mix CDs all the time, just like sharing really weird electronic music with each other. And I was always interested in like sample artists, RJD2 and stuff like that.
I just sold his horror albums.
Yeah.
Those were real good.
Yeah.
Those were the Def Jux days. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's when I liked him a lot. He still always be just fine, but the Def Jux days had a special day. It's a special time.
So, yeah, I got into that, and then I continued to be interested in that, and then I remember being in my early 20s, and I think I was like 19 or 20 probably at the time. And I had just gotten out of my first long-term relationship, and I told a couple of my friends, I really want to pursue making music and learning how to do that stuff. And I remember just voicing that and not really knowing anyone that was doing that at that time or how to get into it. And within that year, I met my next relationship, and he was DJing at the time and kind of showed me how to DJ. And then from there...
So you started off DJing first?
Yeah. And actually, in high school, I was making stuff on GarageBand, just messing around. But yeah, so when I met that guy, we started with another friend, this crew called Wabi Sabi. And from there, we just started playing shows and booking gigs. And probably within the first year of doing that, then I was introduced to Ableton and started messing around on Ableton and kind of just self-taught myself just by spending hours and hours and hours and hours just playing around on it. And that's also how I taught myself some digital graphic stuff, was just on Photoshop, just spending hours and hours. And I kind of enjoyed that process of just trial and error and figuring out how to do things and looking stuff up online.
It can become, its own form of meditation.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. I would say that was a form of meditation for me.
Yeah, because you get in this flow and you just want to make stuff.
And I get pretty obsessive when I'm into something.
Yeah.
And I can just spend hours doing it without, taking breaks.
Yeah, time flies and stuff. Yeah.
So... yeah, that's how I started getting into it.
Would you still use Ableton today?
Yeah, I do. And now my next kind of experience that I want to use with Ableton is to utilize it out live, playing live sets with it. And, How do you think that's going to be different than, like, how you play right now? Like, or, like, what are you wanting to do different with it? Like, well, currently... I do all my producing alone, by myself. And then when I have a finished product or a finished track, then I would play it out in a DJ set. Whereas this next year in 2019, I'm hoping to do more, live vocal and just producing more on the fly. Have different stuff that I've kind of come up with alone here at the house. And then when I go out, just be able to kind of freestyle with different stems and samples and,
Yeah,
stuff
what
that.
do you mean, like, producing on the fly? I think you kind of alluded to it with the stem things, but do you mean, like, almost like how looper pedal people do it?
Yeah.
So just, like, make stuff right there?
Yes.
So it's going to be tremendously different show than what you do right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that.
That's what's up. Have you started any of that yet, or?
A little bit.
So you got, like, lyrics or stuff?
Yeah, I've been writing a lot in the last year. A lot of poetry, a lot of lyrics, and then we'll just see where it goes.
That's what's up. Yeah, like I'm gonna do similar stuff for me for this coming year. Not the live. I have no interest in playing live, but just in the output of, because I used to do, before you knew me, I used to play live a lot, but it was with a group. So once that group stopped, no more vocalist, and it sucked going back to instrumentals. So I was like, man, I want songs. So that's why I write, like, the lyrics every day, like, on Instagram and stuff, because it was just, like, training for, like, rap lyrics. So I could rap, because I was like, man, that's probably easier than singing. But now I'm doing that too. The training's just so I can do, like, both, and I just noticed this year, like, how much stuff I did for video this year. I was like, man, dude, like, I never tried this hard for music, which was, like, the original thing for me. So I at least want to do similar output to that, like, just have a lot of stuff. So, like, it started, like, this month, did, like, 5 albums, but they're all the old stuff we did during, like, SoundCloud era and that time. So it's not really nothing too new, but I wanted it just out in the Spotifys of the world, because it was only on the SoundClouds and stuff. But yeah, like, I already started, like, recording stuff with people who came through the holidays and stuff. So
oh, nice.
I wanna yeah, man, like, that too. It's gonna be, like, a few things next year. I in my head, like, depending on how life goes, like, I would love to put out 10 albums next year. Like,
wow, that's a lot.
I'm like, a minimum, I feel like it should be easy to do like 3. But I would like to do like 10. I feel like there's no reason I don't do 10.
That's really ambitious. I think that's awesome if you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy.
You gotta stay focused.
Yeah. That's the, I don't even want to say hard. That's the hard part. My only hesitancy is like, I just seeing what else like life happens, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If I could warrant that much time, but like, that's why I'm like, if life does happen, there's no reason I don't do 3. I'm like, but I feel like 10 should totally be attainable. So, and at the very least, there'll be like 1 rock metal one prog house one, and then I wouldn't be surprised just because I feel like it's too easy, a bunch of rap ones. So, like, but that's the template right now in my head. We'll see how it happens. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, I look forward to the live thing. Do you have a date yet for that?
I've kind of set an arbitrary date for myself. Maybe like 6 months. Halfway through the year, I'd like to play.
Oh man, we still got like such a long wait. It's gonna be a while. Let's see, May, June-ish.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Summertime blossoms. Boom.
Yeah.
Different live set.
I want to make sure that I'm a perfectionist, and so it's hard for me to want to put stuff out unless I'm really satisfied with it, and I rarely am satisfied. But I'm trying to give myself enough time to just really be confident with singing. That's
for sure.
The thing that I'm the most nervous about doing.
Yeah, I feel like every time. At this point, you're already an artist, so it's probably less, but it's still always there. The first time you do anything, it's always like, the nerves or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like for me, like I keep saying it, so I'll have to do it. But just like, the live stream I was doing on Twitch and stuff like the other day. So I was like, man, I think I'm gonna live stream myself on Twitch every day for 30 minutes, just freestyling. Like,
oh yeah, I heard you talking about that.
Just so it could train, just for like train me so that it I don't know if the word is desensitized, but just get comfortable, like, so that it ain't even a thing no more. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. 'Cause like I'm like still doing any vocals in front of people, I could still feel the hesitancy. Mm-hmm. Doing it was the same. I did the same thing with the Instagram, because the first time I even started doing those, these thoughts in the back of my mind or whatever are like, what are these people gonna think, or blah blah blah. Even though it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. But it's still there, like. Yeah. But now, like, I'm numb to it. It's more like I don't even see what I don't. It's not even a thought like what other people gonna think. It's more like all right, I gotta meet my 1 day quota. A minimum 1 day, There was like a few weeks where I was doing 2 or 3 a day, just because I wanted to do more. But yeah, man, I feel like next year gonna be a real creative year, and for you too. Yeah. I got rid of. I don't know if I ever was truly perfectionist, but I definitely would like to spend time trying to figure out like why things weren't where I wanted it to be. But now I'm of the mind more like, man, if I just keep doing it, I'll just keep learning, Mm-hmm. So, but I noticed, a lot of my friends still are on that, like, perfectionist tip. But I'm very anti that. Like, to each their own, of course. But, like, for me, I'm very anti that. I think by doing, I will learn versus by staying on the same, song forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
I would say that I guess I'm never truly satisfied with anything I've ever made.
And we're probably not supposed to, as us being the user. But I feel like I don't feel like it's ever bad to have that thought process. I think it's only bad when, like, now we just stay working on the same song for 3 months. I think that's when it becomes bad. Yeah.
I wouldn't say I have that problem, because I'll move on. I jump from thing to thing. Yeah. I have a pretty short attention span sometimes.
But when you jump from thing to thing, is that thing finished, or is it just gonna come back later?
That's the question. Yeah,
see,
I don't know.
That's because to me that don't count. You gotta like move on. I did this real cool artist in New York, like 8-Bit Princess. I had her on the podcast. It came out like 2 episodes ago. By the time they hear this, it won't be 2 episodes ago. But like real time right now, it's 2 episodes ago. But yeah, like she worked like 4 years on her album.
Wow.
And maybe next year it might come out. But I'm like, I said the same thing like in my head. I'm like, I'm not trying to convince nobody or nothing. But I'm like, why? Like, why does that take 4 years? And one of these other dudes I look up to a lot, his episode ain't out yet, but Richie Branson, his taken a few years too. And I'm like, he gave me some other reasons off the mic as to why. And he's just working on a lot of stuff. His was slightly different. But yeah, I just never understand why any of these things take that long. Like, but I've changed my mindset completely. Like, I used to be, like, I don't know if it was perfectionist, but I was like, man. But I think with me, it was probably more like, man, this shit's hard. You know, like, and I'm just, like, struggling. Versus now, I'm like, yeah, I just gotta do this shit. This shit's easy. You know what I mean? Like, it's more like, how good am I? You know, can I do these things? If I'm playing real instruments, well, I can't shred yet. So, guess that solo is not happening unless I call a friend, you know?
Yeah.
But, I just, some, like, clicked in me this year where it's just like, I want to make shit, finish it, make shit, finish it, and like I almost don't count nothing unless it's finished, you know what I mean? So like, and that way at least stuff happens, you know? So,
yeah, I mean that's a good attitude.
I'm not saying you
have.
need to be that way, I'm just saying that's me, you know what I mean? But
I think the older I've gotten, the more patience I have for just kind of like surrendering and feeling out the energy and following my intuition on things. And in terms of why I'm waiting 6 months to perform anything live.
Yeah, you gotta do what's best for you. I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just always curious. I'm like, because I feel like there's still a lot of that around me. And I'm more like, I've taken like a total, I don't know if antithesis is the right word, but of thoughts on a lot of these things. Like, and a lot of it might just be simple power of the mind to set myself up to do things like that. You know, like if I believe something. So like I always say, like, this is not to say it doesn't exist, but to myself, I always say, like, I don't believe in writer's block. I'm sure it does exist in the world because I know somebody's gone through it, but like I don't believe in it, and because I don't believe in it, I'm at least setting myself up to, like, in my mind, I don't believe that can happen to me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I'll just start writing. Will it be the best thing? Who knows? But I mean, I'll just start writing. And if this sucks, well, then I'll write another one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in like writer, yeah, I'm like, I can always make something. I don't understand, you know? Uh-huh. But those are just things like I've set up in my mind so that I guess I can always succeed or do something, you know? So, but
I think that's a good exercise to do with yourself.
Yeah.
That's how I used to operate on Ableton. I just keep starting a new track. Like, if I'm not feeling it, start something else. Not feeling it, start something else.
Yeah.
But then I have, hundreds and hundreds of unfinished things. But if I go back and listen to it, then I'm like, oh, there's kind of a gem there, and then, taking...
With that, I've heard that stuff for, like, hip-hop producers, like, because, like, a lot of hip-hop music, mega simple, and the ones who make stuff a lot, they was like, yeah, man, all my beats are made in 10 minutes. They're like, if it takes longer than 10 minutes, like, this shit, it must be trash. And so it's not unfinished as much as, like, next. I'm gonna make something else, I think for me, I'm very curious when I start making something new, like new from scratch, because there's a bunch of, like, mid-level finished stuff that I was going through, like, unfinished stuff, and I was like, yo, some of these things are either done or, like, almost done. Like, what happened? I'm like, so I'm gonna put those out next year too. I'm gonna just finish them, but I'm curious when I start from blank slate, what am I gonna feel like? Because I feel like I haven't made something in a while. I don't know when. Maybe just earlier. It probably just was this earlier this year. But like I was describing to somebody, I feel like time's been moving very slow for me lately. Because I've been doing so much. So
I love that. Yeah, this year moved really slow for me. But
yeah.
In a really good way.
That's good.
Yeah, a lot happened.
Yeah,
for me
good.
Personally.
Yeah.
I bet if you sit down to make something from scratch now, it's gonna sound totally different.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also looking forward to, like, how do I do this? Because because I use Ableton more for this now, like than I do for like music. So I think I had to like do something involving music the other day, and I was like, how do I do this again? Like, cause it's just been a while. Yeah, it was probably like involving one of these albums, because I was doing little touch ups here and there and stuff, and I was like, oh man, like, yeah, because it's just not my daily. I'm like, I'm opening Premiere more than I'm opening Ableton right now, you know. But
well, that's fun too. I love playing around in Premiere.
yeah, I don't. Like, I hate rendering times and
well,
and
yeah, that
stuff
part sucks.
like, yeah, I think like with the video stuff, they I'm still learning how to love that stuff as much as like I kind of only learn stuff with that like when I need to, versus like I just kind of like making the thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lot. That's probably something I still need to adjust. Like I don't necessarily enjoy learning stuff as much as I enjoy making stuff, you know. Like when it comes to like the techniques of this, you know. Because I'm always like, I want to make something, and then if I don't know how to do it, then I get interested in it. But to just learn something for the sake of it, I'm always like, yeah, but I could just make something, you know, like instead.
I guess that's how I learn, is by doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how like that's another program, like Premiere. I learned by just doing little small video projects.
What did you do?
I used to take friends of mine that were producers' tracks and just like cut up video or do video for my own stuff, or a song I was really feeling inspired by. Also, actually, the most recent project that I was messing around on Premiere for was every year NASA has this competition called CineSpace. It takes place in the summer, and they always will have a theme, and then they allow you to use you can use your own footage, and you can also use NASA's archival footage.
Yeah.
And so me and my boyfriend, currently we made a short video, and we produced all the music ourselves and submitted that. That was a lot of fun.
Is that like out online somewhere?
I believe so. It's probably online somewhere.
Somewhere? Yeah. I guess you didn't upload.
I think he might have uploaded it. Okay. Yeah, it's somewhere.
What about any of the other videos? Or
it's probably somewhere. Some of them could be on YouTube, I bet. And then, another thing recently I did. Well, actually, this was more music. I didn't really have much to do with the video editing, but I am interested in starting to do more like soundtracking for videos.
I'm definitely not. That might be something I should like look forward to, because it looks like people pay for that. But there was one director in the UK, and I was supposed to do a trailer thing for him, and
that would have been so fun.
I had no interest in it.
Really?
So what I ended up doing, I was gonna tell him no, but then like I have this friend who really likes to. At the time, he was really ambitious. He always wanted to work. So I was like, "Look, man, do you want to just do this?" This is the only time I've ever done this for anything. So like, I guess he ghost produced for me. Like,
oh wow.
And he did a job, considering that he he doesn't make that stuff normally either. But like, one of the problems I had with it, and one, it probably goes down to the foundation of me, like, still, like, I really like doing what I want. The more, because he wasn't going to pay me, this guy, so, like, the more I'm not doing what I want, the more uninterested I'm, you know, so I was like, yeah, I want to make music, and I was just in Ableton with, like, a blank thing. There's the writer's block. I was, like, playing with things, and I was like, yo, this is whack, yo, like, this, I was just bored out of my mind. I don't want to make these dumb sounds. He gave me direction too, so he's like, try to do this Hans Zimmer Inception bullshit. Mm-hmm. And which I love that OST and movie, but I was like, I don't want to do that though. Yeah, I was just angry. And then like I really like making stuff, so like saw what my friend did, and I always it's one of the things I've been talking about a lot lately, but it's not that it's bad, but like I noticed, man, like a lot of this trailer soundtrack stuff, it's just like sample based, man, and So for like that would be a lot of ambient noise. So like basically, so what my friend ends up doing, just going on Splice, and now he's just picking noises and like doing this. So it's almost like the idea of like painting music, you know, versus playing anything. And I don't know, that just seemed like that's never interested me, you know, like just finding samples of stuff and then like painting it, you know. I always tell the story of my friend's brother who like he would see me and my friend make music, and we were at whatever level we were at, so he got interested, and then he would make music, and it sucks because every time you know when you starting out you suck, you know. But then one day he shows us stuff, and I was like, yo, it sounds real good, like let me see. I look at his session, you know, the whole thing, it was like an EDM style track, but the whole thing was just samples, like everything. Like he didn't play jack shit. Like he didn't play the melody or nothing. Like it's not just like a drum sound. It's like everything. And I was like, that's why it sounds good. You didn't do shit. You just like painted. You know, it's your Here's where I'm nice about it. It's your you know, it's your choice. It's your taste. You know, like as you pick what you like from these things and drag and drop and all that. But I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure a lot of beats out here are probably made in that fashion. But like me, that doesn't interest me when it comes to making it. And I just feel like a lot of the OST work, it just seems like that's like one of the easy paths. Unless you want to be a hardcore sound designer and like start there's a guy called Diego Stacco or something. He made a lot of the sounds for Omnisphere, if you know that plugin. I first found out about him many years ago because he had the flaming piano. If you ever seen that, he's recording a piano on fire, and that's like a.
He sounds. Did he also do something with like making music with a bonsai and making music with sand?
Probably. He does a lot of dumb stuff like that. Reverb from a squirrel eating a nut, you know, like convolution reverb. But he does a lot of dumb shit like that. It's never like making music with a guitar. It's always making music with.
I think I know lamp. Who. Yeah.
You know,
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, like that would be like more like the creative version of doing like those trailers. But I think most people just get samples. You know, like there's this guy H2 Daniel. He's a video game composer, and man, like outside looking in, when you don't know how things work, and that's not to say everybody makes stuff like this, and there's nothing wrong with this. But this was almost like, once you shine a light on something, like, man, this would probably be doable. He does a lot of video game stuff. But honestly, it looks like, man, like video game music, at least the style he's making, it's like super easy. Because you just need a bunch of great sounding contact libraries. Like, like orchestral stuff, you know? And literally, he's just like a piano player composer. Because he's honestly just playing stuff. Which is more than what I'm like talking about, like the sample, because he's playing it. But I'm like, man, dude, like you don't even gotta really tweak it. You just gotta like play it. I'm like, if you just learn how to play an instrument, you could be a composer for this stuff. Like
you sure can.
It's pretty easy. Like you don't even gotta do anything. Like sure, there's mixing going on, but like at that level, when it sounds that good, you know, it's just it's nothing really. I don't know. But yeah, no, trailers don't do it. Something about like, I really like the idea of like of the self-expression stuff, and obviously there's a bunch of trailer music I like, but I feel like when I do it, it doesn't feel like it's coming from the self. You know, I feel like I'm just doing this other thing. So I don't know.
Maybe it's just the project that you were working on.
Maybe it looked real good. It looked better than anything I ever shot. like, I just didn't care. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was paid. Like I said, if I'm doing things I have no interest in, that's when I get like really like lackluster. Like when it comes to like art, like if I'm using my skill set and I have no interest into it, that's where it becomes like a chore. Like cuz now it's work and I'm not being paid. Like
yeah.
So like maybe if there was a reason, like, and there was no reason. I had no attachment to this movie. You know, I barely know the guy, you know, so it was through some like mutual friend thing or something. So I don't know. It was my random rant of nothing. I don't know what that was.
There was a period when I was making like video game music demo, because I was trying to, and I reached out to this one guy that I can't even remember his name now because it's been so long. I was asking how he got involved in doing video game or, soundtracking for video games and stuff. And he was really nice, wrote me back, told me, some advice.
What did he say?
He said, just keep making a sound resume for yourself and then reach out to different companies.
Yeah, like stuff like that sounds horrible. I think when you first hear that, just keep doing stuff. Like,
that didn't sound horrible
to me.
At
that
all.
always sound, because I think I used to always be looking for like the secrets, and when you hear things like yo, just keep doing it, it's like, don't tell me shit. You know what I mean? Like, but it does make sense because if you just keep doing it, like eventually you get good. But like I think it was hard for me to understand that stuff in the beginning, because I was like, what? Like I want to know how to do this or how to sound like that originally, Now I don't really have interest in any of those things, but I just kind of just want to do stuff, and that's it. I just want to do my stuff. So I don't know. Did your video game stuff sound like normal music, or was it like 16-bit style, or?
I had some that was kind of more 16-bit, but a lot of it was, my favorite soundtrack of any video game is Ocarina of Time. And that game changed me. I mean,
which system is that? Like, obviously I know Zelda, but I don't know.
N64.
I never really played those. Yeah, any of them really. So
yeah, I think that game came out in 98 or 99.
I'm biased to the Link to the Past, but it's just Memories, which is the Super Nintendo one, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, that game definitely shaped me and changed my life forever.
How so?
Everything about. I mean, well, first of all, I got the console and the game for Christmas. I think in 98 or 99.
Yeah.
I had to have been probably in maybe 5th or 6th grade, I think. And that was a big deal then. I mean, the graphics were insane at that point. You're like, oh, I can't believe how good they are. And just the whole story surrounding the entire game, the music, how magical, and also the game itself felt really expansive, being able to run around to different areas and have freedom within the game. Yeah.
Be the beginnings of the open world. Super Mario had that in there too. Mm-hmm. This style of like form of open world that we would get into more and more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have I don't know. I feel like the open world format is fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I love it.
There's like, I don't know. I was gonna say nonsense, but like honestly, like as those games start to take over, I go in and out of games because college and stuff, and then like before they become like a norm. I mean, the open world style games. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised on computer gaming. Like those things probably always existed for a minute, but in terms of console, it took a while. I feel like they don't really take off till around GTA 3 when it comes to console.
Yeah.
And then after that,
there had to have been some games on PlayStation.
No, I'm sure there are more, but I'm talking about in terms of like, all of us are gonna do this now. like not like all the companies are gonna start like making it. I feel like once that game blew up, then everybody was like, we need like a lot of open world and a lot of like you can do whatever you want stuff, like sandbox stuff, stuff like that. It's led down to later FF15 becoming like that, and I thought that shit was trash, but I don't know. I don't know if you play the Final Fantasy games or not.
I played some of them.
Yeah. Those are, I guess, more of my RPGs. But honestly, I don't play them till PlayStation. I didn't start playing RPGs till like PlayStation. So something like Zelda, I would have never even given. I just wouldn't played it. Like, never had an N64. These things are kind of like in and out memories, but like things like N64 and like I did own a Saturn, but then I didn't. Like, I always tell my friend, like, yo, I don't know what type of hood schemes we were doing, but like for certain games, I was like, if I liked it enough, I don't know what I was doing, I was able to like own the game and console for a certain amount of time, even though I never bought it. And like, so I don't know if it was a long-term lend or I don't know what I was doing. I know with the Sega Saturn, I did some crazy shit involving like me and 3 people, where I kind of like bought. So I don't know what I got myself into, but like somehow I owed somebody a Sega Saturn, so I just kept borrowing and giving it to the next person.
Oh my god!
I know it sounds so horrible, but like I don't remember why or how this happened. But I know N64, my main reason for even caring about that system was for GoldenEye. And yeah, so I was able to borrow it for a long amount of time just to play that. But GoldenEye was like the main game I played in that. Then even though I never owned the console, I always thought that Star Wars racing game looked real good. So I ended up getting even though I owned the console, I owned
the game
and like the
Rumble Pack?
No, you needed a thing to play that game because of the graphics. So it was something you stuck in the 64.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That shit was fun. That was fun. But yeah, like, do you know DJ Jessica?
Yeah.
So hopefully I said that right. I don't know. Her show hasn't come out yet either, but I had her on. We ended up talking about Final Fantasy X, and that is probably the game, like, for me that I was like, I just saw someone recently play it right now, like a couple of months ago on Twitch, and I was like, yo, I think I rarely do anything again. Like, I kind of, like, when it comes to, like, games and shit, except for fighting games, because that's all you can do. But, which would be my main game, fighting games. Those are my main games. But, I really want to play FF10 one day. again. Like, I played it when it was new. But it's something about that shit. And I was watching that, and I was like, man, like, that's probably, like, Final Fantasy's last great stand, for me, anyway. You know what I mean? After that, it's a lot of this. But it's like so many good moments in there. And it's probably like the perfect combination of how RPGs used to be, combined with maybe what they're about to become, you know? With voice acting becoming a standard and all this other stuff, you know? But yeah, that shit, I fucking love it. I think that's just a great fucking story. I don't know if you ever played that or not, but
I can't remember which ones I've played.
Okay, they probably didn't mark you then, like Zelda did. That's
yeah.
Did you play a new one on Switch? Whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called.
No, I don't have a Switch yet. It's called the Call of the Wild or Breath of the Wild, something like that. Yeah. I haven't played it yet, and I really, really want to. But I need to get the console first.
I only wanna Switch mainly for I want to play Xenoblade 2. I don't know if you know what that is or not. Nowhere near as popular RPG series. But yeah, no, it's an RPG series that has just been on Nintendo since the Wii. So
what's it called?
Xenoblade.
I've never heard of it.
I only played Chronicles X on Wii U. And yeah, that shit it's I was gonna say real good, and I guess it's real good. If I start going like this, then I can things I like, even though I like them a lot, I can probably give you like an essay as why they suck, even though I like it. But yeah, no, overall it was great. I like that, so I would just like to play it.
I think maybe one of the other games that impacted me or I think about often is the Assassin's Creed games.
Man, is it one or is it number? Because a lot of people have told me.
I think someone just told me like the 4th or 5th one came out. The last one I played was the French Revolution one.
People have told me that I really needed to play 2 and 3, but like I went to the Valley, which no one should ever do, but I went to the Valley and for Christmas one time because all my family was gone, so I just went to the Valley and stayed with some friends. And they had that game, but it was around the time 2 and 3 was already out. But I've never played any Assassin's Creed. I know people care about it, so I'm like, all right, let me play this game. And it just got very monotonous. And yeah, people have told me it got better, but I can see why people like it. Like, and I don't know if I gave it I'm sure it's something that I could play and not be fully angry at, you know. But I don't know, just playing number 1, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I need to do this. And I think a lot of times I like to go hard at things. So I think probably what made it monotonous is I started doing stuff. I think if you were just to stick to the story and not do other stuff, it would still be monotonous, but it would move at least, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I really enjoy just running around the world, looking at all the architecture and the environments.
see, that goes back to what I said with GTA 3, to do whatever you want.
I love that.
Because now games, you can just do it. You can play the game without ever doing anything. Because you just like, I want to go sightseeing in this game, and that's it.
I do a lot of that, and also I just love the premise of it. I love. I know that part of it's mixed in with a lot of fiction, but I like.
I only know the premise of one. So like, what? How do they keep that series going?
So the main character. Oh, I might be getting this wrong because I haven't played in a while, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with like lineage of your DNA.
Yeah.
So
do they just keep grabbing a different guy and or girl and just stuffing them in that machine and like having them?
I think it was just one guy, but it might be two different guys.
Because part one is, they do that. You know, they have this dude in the present and they keep blobbing his mind or whatever.
Yeah, they go into his DNA
is that
for
every
his
game?
ancestors.
Is that all 5 games?
Yeah,
Really?
pretty much, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I think it might be a different person for...
Yeah, no, that part I would understand. But is it that same premise? They just keep probing? Mm-hmm. Damn, goodness.
Yeah. And in a weird way, I don't really think that's fiction. I do believe
what's fiction?
The ability to tap into your own DNA to access your ancestral data or memories.
In a lightweight way, we do that already. Like just taking blood and like telling people where they're from and stuff like that. Like it's very lightweight compared to what's going on in that story, you know, where you're seeing like literal things. But yeah, I mean, I guess technically you're not wrong, but I'm sure you're alluding to something grander. So like, what do you mean? How do we do that? How do we tap in?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think we're still figuring that out. I mean, we barely mapped out the human genome, so
okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of data in there.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
for sure. Do you still play currently or no?
I haven't played.
Not that game, but just any games.
No, not recently because I don't have a console in the last few years, but maybe in the next couple years I'll think about investing in one.
I don't think I can play anything unless I get rich, because I think some people look at me crazy when I say those things, but like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I want to even find a balance, but like maybe I just need to find a balance. But like, I really like going in on things, and so that's why, especially like RPGs, things like that, need to be banned. And same thing, fighting games too, like which would be my main game. Those games never end because everybody's always getting better. So like, I always tell this joke like, yo, like I've played the 1-player mode of fighting games almost never, because the whole point is so I can fight you, you know, like so you're always fighting other human beings, so other human beings are always getting better. So it's like you gotta always get better, and you're just training forever, pretty much. But yeah, I like to go all in. I don't just want to like, oh, I got an hour, let me play. No, like I'm trying to kill this shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to do this, and I think that's probably why like that same type of mentality is probably why I've like instituted like, whether they're real deadlines or not, like I'm gonna make shit move on, because I know like I like to go on. So it's probably less that I'm chasing perfection, more like, yo, I'm going in. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna just live in this thing for a minute, but I'm like, no, because I need to finish stuff, move on, make stuff, you know? So, but same thing with games. Like, yeah, like I'd love to play Final Fantasy X, but let me tell you, if I play that shit, I'm not doing nothing else. I'm just playing that. and
maybe you need that for a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe I do, but I don't know. I'm gonna just get lost in this all fictional love story and shit that's like, I don't even watch those things, but I dig that. I just dig that story. So, but yeah, no, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, I do, but I don't want to do that.
I've been considering buying Minecraft for my computer. I did have it on.
I've never played that. I'm glad to say.
I love just the creative mode. I would just spend hours
making stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I would build like crazy waterfall temples and light temple. And
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Gardens and Yeah.
Yes.
I strictly played creative mode.
I don't even know what that game is really, but like I would always just see snippets of it. I'm like, people making all these things. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? like what?
For me, it's like a digital Legos. That's how I look at it.
That probably makes tremendous sense right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't, yeah. I mean, you could totally that shit's probably mega cheap too.
Yeah, it is.
So it's really just time if you want to put time into it.
Well, I've been hesitating getting it because I know that I'll get obsessive.
Yeah. So. That's probably maybe the world has a whole problem, but I mean, like, that's probably the creative in us. Like, we all have. I mean, that's just the thing we do. We just get obsessed over things, and that's why I'm like, that's what I say. Like, if I'm rich, because if I'm rich, then there is no urgency to put out anything, and I can play Final Fantasy.
I would disagree with that.
How so?
I don't think. I think that if I was very wealthy, I would still have the urgency to create. I'm not
saying I would retire.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't need to put so it's almost these hypocritical thoughts, and it doesn't matter that they're hypocritical in my mind because I need them to. I don't know if I need them to have a belief so that I can just move forward. But it's almost like, so now I don't care if anything that I make for me like makes money. Like I've gone fine. Like I feel like a lot of me and my friends who I came up with making music before I knew like any of you or the feedback people. Like, cause yeah, me and Tomas go like back before that, you know. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like a lot of us in our own ways, like, you know, we're like, hey, we got lost in the we want to make it part of this whole thing, mm-hmm. you know, as an artist or whatever. And I feel like in our own, we all have our own ways of how I messed this up. But I feel like, yeah, it took like, for me, maybe it took like the joy out a little bit. You start doing crap you don't even want to do, you know, because you try chasing a trend or whatever, trying to keep up with the times. And it's no longer that same fun thing like when I first started, you know, but I feel like now it's going right back to like, all right, I'm going to just do whatever I want. And I don't care. Stuff happens. I hope so. If stuff don't happen, like, oh well. But like, even though like, I'm not trying to make it like, there's still like, well, all right, if I'm going to put like this much of my like effort into it, like, yo, these things do at least need to make. I can't just be telling people I'm an artist and I don't do shit. You know what I mean? Like, so there's that urgency. But when I say like, man, if I was rich, then I wouldn't care. Because it's like, well, then like now I'm doing this with my friends. I'm getting like all my friends. Because like, for some reason, everybody on the block's a rapper. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, but that's not their dream or goal or whatever, you know? But it's like, yeah, I'm rich. Like, I'll make songs with my friends. But like that's it. Like I don't care. Like I'll still put them out because I really have this thing where things need to be shared. After that's whatever if people hear it or not. But there's no urgency where like, yo, it's Monday, we got to do this. Yo, there's, you know, it wouldn't be that because like it don't matter because I'm never gonna get penalized. That's what I mean. So I can play Final Fantasy X for 2 weeks straight. You know what I mean? Like, but to do that now, I probably could still get away with it, but it probably wouldn't be wise and it wouldn't move me forward in life, you know, because these things are building like right now, whether any of those things amount to anything up into their own, they still give me a skill set training that I can use for something else that will hopefully, you know, keep having me ascend, you know. But yeah, I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah.
That's why I say like with the urgency, I'd still always be making stuff, but it'd probably go back to a more passive like if you saw Avengers Infinity War.
I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, there's a scene, right, at some point in the movie where Thanos just sits on a chair and he smiles. It for people watching, like, or the few people watching, like, that's what I would do. I'm rich. I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit, I'm going to smile, and I will make music when it happens. Whenever it happens. You know, I don't need to make, I was like, it will happen when it happens, you know. I'll end this because I can just keep talking forever about not saying nothing. But ran into my rapper like a weekend or two ago, And I'm always like, man, yo, you should rap my stuff, you know, like, cause a lot of the songs we did, he would just freestyle, and I would like arrange it into a song, and it would be surprisingly well. But like now he won't rap for me. He'd be like, dude, I gotta be inspired, and like I remember I used to be like that. Like I hate hearing that shit now, but I used to be like that, where it's like, you know, you gotta make the song when it happens. And if you hear all my earlier stuff, they all have meaning, and I could tell you why, and like which girl I had a crush on, and blah blah blah. But like there's this middle period which I won't even talk, which like beat battles kind of introduced. But now like everything I make has meaning again, but like I just make stuff and then I attach to meaning, versus like, oh, I feel some type of way, let me make something, you know, like, which can also happen too. But now I don't wait for stuff to happen. I just make stuff, and like, okay, now this is about my life here, this is about my life there, and I can make that, versus like I only make stuff when, oh, this happened, I should make a song about it, you know what I mean? So
I think I'm probably the opposite of that.
yeah.
I'm a very emotional person.
I'm saying if I was rich, I would switch back to that, is what I was trying to say. Like,
I probably, I mean, if I'm feeling the mood, you know, I'm going to sit down and make stuff. But everything I work on has a meaning to it then and there.
Yeah.
I use it cathartically to get things out. Yeah.
But you see, like, all my stuff, I would say, is a catharsis. No more intentionally now, but like when like everything I write about is like always life stuff. So in a form, it is, you know. But I'm not like waiting for the inspiration. I just kind of do it. And honestly, everything I said is a lie. Would I play Final Fantasy X? Probably still. But honestly, I always tell everybody, like, and the few people I know who are rich, like they don't like to believe it, because they're a big believer in money changes people. Which, you know what, maybe it does. But I've always heard this idea that money also like just gives you more of your real. And then me being an artist and hearing other artists that talk like it, I would probably just do the same thing on a bigger scale. I'd fly to Japan and do this podcast shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fly to Russia, etc. Or all my friends around the world, I'm gonna fly to them and do that shit in person. No more Skype calls, you know? So like, I think I would just do a lot of stuff on a much more grander scale, you know? We making that beat with a real damn orchestra. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be the dream, right?
Yeah, you know, like something dumb. So maybe FF10 would have, but I'd probably just blow it up. Like, oh, now I don't have to stay in my bedroom. Like, oh, it's gonna be ridiculous. I'm gonna record a real volcano. I don't even know what it's gonna be in this song, but it's gonna be in this damn song. You know, like,
yeah, that would be awesome.
You know, like, yeah. So that's probably what it would just be grander scale. It would just be everything at scale. Yeah,
I think that would be the same for me too.
Yeah, and then try to sneak FF10 on the airport. When I'm in there.
In your downtime.
Yeah, but yeah, I have no idea. That was a lot of me ranting.
That's all right.
That happens. But how did y'all get to Austin?
Me?
Yeah, I don't think you said that. Yeah.
I was previously going to a boarding school in Utah. That's where I graduated from. And
how'd that happen?
That's a whole other story. And so at the time, right before I was, you know, graduating and applying for things, I knew I wanted to come back to Texas. And so I applied to some schools in Houston and in Austin. And I got in to a school I wanted to in Houston and a school in Austin, and I decided after going to the orientations that I wanted to be in Austin. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made. When I came here, I felt like I was completely enamored with the city and the vibe, and I felt for the first time in my life that I was in a city that felt like home. For a long periods of my life, and I still have those feelings here in this city too. From time to time, I always have had kind of this feeling of not fitting in or not belonging, and I think that probably could be linked back to me moving around a lot as a kid. But yeah, as soon as I moved here, I knew I had made the right decision. I loved everything about the city and the people and the energy, and I felt finally like I had a place where I could fit in or just be myself and not feel like, a weird person or outcast. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I've had that feeling too for cities. Like, I don't know. I don't think I've had it to talk with you, but everybody's heard me talk about San Antonio. So like, it's not my favorite place. But like now, like now that none of my art's actually involve the city, I don't really have any negative feelings to it. It's just kind of like neutral. You know, like it's very neutral feeling now, because it just happens to be where I am. There is no negative or positive. It just doesn't affect me at all. Like,
well, that's probably a good thing, right?
it's a good thing that it's no longer negative, because like I think when I was an artist, there was a lot of negative, hated, and that's the stuff that probably initially poisoned me from music, because there was just a lot of for what I was doing, it just wasn't a good music scene. It's just a lot of, they're not like evil people, but just bad people, like for what I wanted to do, and just how it all acts and becomes all cliquey and all that.
Excuse me.
And then like once I understood everything, like like why am I trying to be like these kings of certain territories that like also don't make a living off of it? I'm like, if you climb the top of the ladder and I still gotta go work, I was like, well shit, this is a shitty ladder. I need to chase a different thing. So like once I started shifting my perspective to like online and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, like, so I'm kind of way more at peace with it now. And it's just very weird, like definitely no like need to find like a city that I like, but like I think especially like right now I'm like way more hesitant now, because I'm like I'm able to create as much as I can now because I'm just very focused. I'm like, man, if I move, like some of the output's gonna drop again, like currently. And I'm like, right now I'm like more interested in that than anything like any of the cities can offer currently. So I got like these life questions I like to ask people.
Sure.
So I'm probably start to hit you, but before I do that, I'm gonna ask a softball question. What's that mean? Like the
what
tattoo on the bottom? On the
this?
bottom? Yeah, because it looks like a tree.
It's a foxtail lily.
Is that like a tree or something?
No, it's a flower.
But it's like all green. It almost looks like a tree.
It's just black. It needs to be colored in maybe eventually. But
lighting. What do you believe that people think you're crazy for believing?
What do I believe that people think I'm crazy for believing?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm sure there's people that wouldn't think this is crazy, but that I believe in many lives and many dimensions, and yeah.
What can you like elaborate on that more, or like let's take you, like, so then what life would you be on?
In this life?
Sure. Yeah. like, I'm trying to understand. Like, or like, so are you talking about like reincarnation, that type of stuff, or something?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, reincarnation, but on a more quantum scale.
Which means
like I believe that I'm probably existing in multiple dimensions in multiple forms right now at this moment, but I'm only able to access this at this moment because we're living in the fourth dimension, which has time and space. Yeah.
And the others don't, or?
I probably with this human brain can't comprehend, but yeah. So that's probably something that I would say others might think that's crazy.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like all that stuff. Because I thought you were gonna talk more about, like, I thought it was gonna go more the reincarnation, but that stuff, yeah. Like every time I hear like science talk about it, it's less that I don't believe it, and more like still struggling to understand what any of that is. Like that they're talking about like all these other dimensions and stuff. But I don't know. But you were saying when I asked you, like lifetime, do you mean like in this lifetime or like so is that some type of reincarnation thing? Like let alone the parallel lives going on right now?
Yeah, I think so. But I think it's more complex than just like I believe that my energy can never be destroyed, right?
Okay.
So,
I don't know. I haven't done my research. But
so
if you say so,
energy
yes.
can never be destroyed. It can only be transferred.
Okay.
And so possibly reincarnation on this planet, possibly on another planet in this dimension, possibly in another dimension altogether.
Do you get any sense of what your prior energy might have been?
Yeah, well, kind of. I think in my most immediate life, if I had a life that was on this planet before, was probably masculine.
Okay.
Yeah. I've done a past life regression once, which was kind of fun.
What is that? What is that?
I had a hypnotist put me in a trance and do a past life regression, and
before you even go to past life, so does that like really work? Like on you, the hypnotist part, like do you really get into a trance?
Yeah, I definitely did. Yeah.
Like so, all right. Like and it's not you like so like you're really like not in control. You're in a trance or something like.
You're in control,
but just watching that
trance.
stuff, I'm always like skeptical. I'm like,
I think there's probably different forms of hypnosis.
Okay.
But the way that this woman did it on me, I actually have a recording of it, and shit. I used bits of it in a track that I made one time, which was kind of fun.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Is it out?
I don't know if it's on my SoundCloud. I haven't put anything up on my SoundCloud in years, but it was funny because I was just listening to some tracks that I had made a month ago, and it's a track I did called Past Lives. And
can you show me that?
Yeah, I'll have to find it, but I'll show you it.
All right.
Yeah. But in that regression,
well, I mean the track you made last month, like or does everything stay sealed until it's time?
No, I could show you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just scared. But no, continue.
Do you really want to hear about the past life regression?
Do it.
Okay.
Yes. That's the whole point of doing this. Is to hear all this stuff I would never think of.
In that past life regression, I was it started off, I was a young boy living in a rural part of England. That was...
So real quick, I have to cut again because I'm like, so, all right, you're saying what you are, but like, what is happening? So you in this hypnosis, like, so what are you seeing what you're telling me right now? So you just start seeing it?
Yeah, I just started seeing it. And so
no one's like telling you none of this? Okay, all right.
So originally, the first thing I saw was me as a boy. I think I must have been like 3 or 4 years old, and I'm sitting by the ocean and playing by myself. And then I turn around and I see that... It's been a long time, so I'll have to try to remember details. But I saw like a straw or stone one-room kind of structure, and that's where I lived with my mother. And my father was away, maybe at sea or at war. I'm not sure. He wasn't there. And so it was just me as a young boy coming home for dinner or for a meal, and with my mother in this home. And then it jumped forward, and then I was in a city in England, maybe like, I'm guessing London, and there's like cobblestone streets. And
so what time frame you think this might be?
This might have been, I'm guessing, maybe between 17 and 19, or a young man. I was a young man.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Years, like our time, like 1995 or something. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly when the time was. And I met a young woman. She looked a little bit like my mother, who was blonde. We ended up having a couple children. I was a sailor. So then it jumps forward, and then it's this memory of me being on a ship with my crew, and we're stranded out at sea, and we're running out of something happened where we don't know where we are. Maybe we got in like a storm or something, and we're running out of supplies and water, and people are starting to go crazy, and people are jumping off the ship, people are dying. Then we somehow end up in, I think maybe somewhere in South America or Central America. And I can't remember, it was like a very small crew was left, maybe like 8 people. And there was natives there that were helping us. And everybody, the ship was pretty much destroyed, or I don't know if it was destroyed, but the captain had died. The captain had gone overboard somehow. Anyways, most of the men, they were refurbishing the ship and going to go back to England, and I decided to stay. And I ended up, it's weird talking he.
Well, you said it's you, right?
Yeah.
So
I ended up staying and falling in love with a native woman and started a family with her. And then it flashes that I'm like an older man, and I'm living in, I guess, another 1-bedroom structure with my wife. And she passes away, and I think I did some kind of ceremony in like a jungle for her passing away, and then I died shortly after, and that was the end of the life.
So would you think that that's like you, or would you think it's like almost similar to the Assassin's Creed thing where we're talking about like DNA of an ancestor?
Well, I don't have any ancestors that are of English descent, so
okay.
And so I don't know.
So I guess that's more like, I guess, less bloodline and then more your energy, I guess.
Maybe like there's energetic DNA or something.
So
like
how you think that, like, I don't know if I can get this idea out, but like, so as our bloodlines are, moving forward, right? Mm-hmm. Fathers, whatever, family, but you're here being like someone else, I guess, who isn't in your family. Mm-hmm. So how do those things like get together? Does that make sense, what I'm asking?
Yeah, I don't know how it gets together.
Like,
yeah, that's a really great question. I'm not sure.
All right. What led you to even do that? The
past life regression? Yeah. Well, originally I had booked the hypnosis because at the time I was going through severe agoraphobia. And
I think you gotta define that for me.
So agoraphobia is a mental illness or a mental disorder where you have fear of going in public.
Or, you told me about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or being in crowds or being anywhere where you can't have an immediate escape route. Mm-hmm. So after I think I touched on this in the beginning of this, I had a miscarriage, and that whole year after, I was having a lot of health problems. And then I'm not really sure, it was probably a compilation of a lot of things and stressors going on in my life, but I just all of a sudden developed agoraphobia out of nowhere, and which is very opposite of my personality. I've always been someone that loved traveling, was very independent, loved being around people, and out of nowhere I developed agoraphobia, and it was pretty scary. I couldn't leave my house for 4 months pretty much without having a panic attack. So I ended up getting this hypnotist to come here to my house to try to help.
Okay, so it was as you were looking for solutions to that, it was one of the things. Mm-hmm. But like what led to that? Just to that, like
the hypnosis. Yeah, you need to do that.
Like how'd you just come up with that idea? Are you like on your own, or are you just like Googling things to try to solve it or something? Or like?
Well, I had some friends in the past use hypnosis for different things.
Oh, like to cure them or whatever it was?
Yeah, or just help with things. I'm not really sure all the reasons why they did it, but it was something that I had witnessed, and So I decided to I was desperate. I was ready to try a lot of things.
At the same time, you know, like, you hear the words, what is it? Past life?
Regression.
Yeah, regression. It can sound crazy at first, but then at the same time, as once it just clicked in my head, like, all right, use this to heal myself of whatever problem maybe. It reminded me, I don't remember official terminology, but like basically like there's all these studies. The most obvious example is soldiers with PTSD, and I guess the legal term is what, MDMA or whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if you have them be guided by like a therapist, combined with that, you know, it's like a guided trip.
Yeah.
And most people are like usually cured of whatever was ailing them after one trip, you know, and they go through whatever happens on that trip, whether they're facing some trauma or whatever needs to happen. But yeah, it's almost like the same thing. So I was like kind of clearing it in my head.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's not that far off at all. We kind of talked about this with me, but if you were rich, how would you live your life?
If I was rich, how would I live my life?
Yeah.
I would probably have multiple homes, like one in probably off the Amalfi Coast.
Where's that?
In Italy.
Okay.
Or maybe in Spain somewhere. And one somewhere in the States, and maybe one somewhere in Asia, and one somewhere in South America. And I would spend maybe like 6 months
Each of them.
or 3 months, yeah, and just travel around a lot. And I would still be making stuff creatively, music and film and art, and yeah, I don't know. Traveling a lot. I would be traveling a lot.
Sometimes I wonder, like, because I always say one of the reasons I don't really go, it's one thing to travel, like go on vacation, but like I guess, I mean, because sometimes like, man, dude, outside of like making stuff, I don't really have any attachment to anything. And I always think like, I don't remember if we might have talked, remember that girl Echo, right? I told you about her. Sometimes I think, man, people like her have it right. Like, I need to just get rid of everything and just like kind of like live in the world or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like almost everyone doing that, I'm like, man, well, they don't have time to make stuff the way I want to. So it's almost like you gotta like pick one at that level, at the level they're doing it at, you know? So I'm like, well, I guess I just don't like traveling as much as she does, you know, like, or needs to do it the way she does, you know? What is your goal in life?
My goal in life?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I feel like my goals in life change from
well, just right now. Yeah. Like,
okay. To be able to be at peace with myself internally.
How do you go about doing that?
Well, that's a good question. Being more gentle with myself internally. Yeah.
Oh, changing the self-talk.
Yeah.
That's probably been one of the biggest things. Like, it's to the point where I'm probably not even thinking of it anymore. But yeah, it's like to actively change that shit.
It's hard work.
Yeah. But I feel like I've my friend has pointed this out in me, but like and I've noticed this while hearing other people talk. Like, I don't reflect at all. Might be one of my weaknesses. So like, to keep it an obvious example, like, man, like, it's only now, like, and I still don't look back. I talk about it, but I'm not even truly reflecting. But I'm like, look back. Every once in a while, my friend like picks up my head, not, you know, not literally, but and he's just like, look, fool, you don't see all this shit you did, you know? And it's like, oh shit, who knew? You know, because I'm like always like that. But yeah, no, it's the same thing. Like, I'm like, yeah, my self-talk has probably changed dramatically just over the course of this last year, you know?
That's wonderful.
I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like ultra mega positive, but it definitely ain't that negative shit, you know, like that maybe once might have been there. And it's more like definitely a form of optimism and like of it's definitely more like, all right, dude, like, you know, like, what to do, like, now. And, like, even when I do the wrong things, like, or something, I'm, like, aware now. Like, so I'm, like, highly aware. So it's almost like, dude, like, the answers are there. Now you just got to do it, you know? Like, instead of more like, oh, like, I can never, or, like, a lot of this can't talk we have or something. Or I've never had it, but I feel like sometimes other people allude to it, you know, self-dislike or hate. Might be things I want to change, but I've never had that, like, I don't like myself, you know, or some shit. So, but it's definitely gotten better, is what I'm trying to say. I've probably had my own versions of that, but it can be done. It can be done.
Well, a lot of my internal dialogue struggle has stemmed from overcoming the agoraphobia stuff. It was very hard for me to accept that was happening to me in the beginning, and then dive into that, and what does this mean? Why is this happening? What lessons is it teaching me? And I felt like very frustrated all the time because it was holding me back from doing all the things that I wanted to do. In my past, I was always a person that would set goals, and I was a go-getter, and I'd make it happen. And so having to be forced to slow down and not being able to do all the things I want to do was very frustrating.
But you've overcome it now, right?
I'm very much, I think I am well on my way to...
You're still working on it, but it's nowhere where it was.
Correct, yeah. Okay. I mean, this, in November was the first time, it sounds... I hesitate to call it embarrassing because it was a huge accomplishment, and I should be proud of it. But, November was the first time that I was able to get on a plane and go to another state in 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Which also, again, my past me, that would be,
easy, yeah.
Yeah, I traveled all the time by myself on planes, cars, wherever I wanted.
I think you mentioned it too when I ran into you at the Bragg Light show at Volstead. That is like one of your first times, I guess, in a while or something, being out again or something.
No, I've been going out around this city for probably the last 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just been other stuff.
It's just like slowly expanding my comfort zone, expanding, the places I could go. Yeah. But
then when you do overcome, I always tell myself, 'cause I still have stuff I'm trying to get over. That I'm always like, man, when I beat this, that's the thing. See, now I say it too like that. I talk like that, like, when I beat, because I will do it. Just don't know when, but I will do it. Like, when I beat this thing, like, now I'm gonna have this shit, like, in my toolbox or in my head, whatever.
Yeah.
That, like, will feed me, like, supreme confidence.
Yeah, no one can take away.
For whatever else that I'm fighting then, you know what I mean?
No one can take away the work you've done.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is a sense of confidence. I just remember being really freaked out whenever I first was having it, because I would read online and people would talk about having it for 10, 20, 30 years. And I was like, there's no way that I want to be living my life like this in 10 years.
Yeah.
And so I was constantly trying to rush things and getting really frustrated and overwhelmed. But now looking back, I'm like, wow, that was maybe one of the most beautiful chapters in my life.
It forced you to work, forced you to learn.
So. It humbled me.
Yeah, that too. What are 3 things you're thankful for in life?
3 things I'm thankful for in life?
Yeah.
My health. I'm very thankful for my health and the ability to be able to see things and hear things. Those are 2 of my senses that I heavily rely on and really take a lot of pleasure out of life using. I'm thankful for my friends and family. And I'm thankful for my mind.
There's a lot of things we take for granted. What do you see yourself 3 years in the future?
3 years in the future?
Yeah.
Possibly living somewhere else. Hopefully working in the creative field, either designing, maybe interior spaces or costuming. I see myself hopefully performing music, maybe working on my own film.
What do you mean, like directing it or something?
Possibly. I'm more interested in helping writing, and also the music and possibly set design and costume and yeah.
I feel like doing like a real music video instead of just like all these concerts I like doing. Probably doing a music video would probably be the next like big challenge.
That would be so fun.
I never had any interest in it,
No?
but I feel like the world likes it, so I need to force it on myself.
I think you should do what you feel is right in your heart.
That's true, but at the same time, like, it'll be a challenge. You gotta introduce some form of uncomfort every now and then, and sometimes the doing what feels right in my heart. Well, I'm gonna just keep doing the same thing I've been doing, but I don't learn nothing from that, because it's all easy. So every now and then, it's not like I don't have like a distaste or hate from it. Or to be fair, I actually don't care about music videos 100%. I don't consume them at all. If a song came out exclusive on music video, I'd tab out and like just hear the song. Not because I just don't want to see it, but I was like, well, I could just watch anything else or do something else, I just don't like music video, but I just know that the world does. And that would add another like thing to my toolbox that I could eventually use for me, and something. So I think overall it would be good. I just, it isn't like the other things I want. Because if it was like the other things I want, I would have been done it. You know what I mean? So like, because everything I want, I usually just try it and suck and then just keep on doing it till it doesn't suck, hopefully. Like, I think for movies, I feel like I'm going to have to like, whether it be like a writer or maybe not a writer, but like, yeah, like somewhere and like somebody with power. So whether it's like showrunner or like producer or executive producer, because I feel like I'd be having ideas, but I don't know if I want to go deep into like expanding those ideas into the detail of it.
I
like
love
a writer.
that kind of
That's
stuff.
why. Like, so I'm like, look, I would have a macro outline, and now I need you. You can do my show, But here's the outline. Here's what I want to happen. You can have the details, like whatever you want. But this is what I want to have. So somewhere along that. What is the perfect day?
The perfect day?
Yeah.
The perfect day would be... These are really good questions.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people get like, it's like we just talked and then like boom, now this happens and it's like this, like what just happened? Like the show just changed.
I like it. Maybe the perfect day would be for me to wake up next to my loved one and cuddle for a bit and then get up and go explore the world and just have a fun adventure, maybe going around taking pictures or going to museums or just being in the world, observing things, and then maybe end with some good food and go see some music and go dancing.
Do you dance for real or just dance?
Huh?
Do you dance like for real, like I don't know, like the way like just go dancing randomly or like some real shit where it's like, oh yo, I like salsa shit or something. Like I don't know, that came to mind for some reason.
No, probably just go dancing randomly. Yeah.
Okay. And I think this is the last one, right? Yeah, this is the last one. What is the question I should have asked you but I didn't?
The question that you should have asked me that you didn't.
Yeah. Or if that's too hard, I always say like, what is the question you wish people would ask you? But they don't.
Maybe, am I going to have to answer the question once I say the question?
I shouldn't have told you that because now you're like, well, I ain't going to say this question.
Okay, I got it. one of your most memorable dreams.
All right. What's that?
What is one of my most memorable dreams? I have a very active, vivid dream life. So I have a lot of favorites, but one of my most peaceful dreams that I've ever had was I was floating in this very large river, and there was like rock structures on either side, and it was the golden hour. And the water was really calm and clear, and I looked down and I saw 2 giant whales swimming underneath me. And I just felt like a sense of deep peace. Yeah.
That's cool. I dreams are a funny thing for me. I believe, if I understand correctly, everybody dreams no matter what, you know? Like but I feel like I guess I'm in that type that would supposedly say he doesn't dream, or just I guess don't get to remember them for whatever the reason, you know? But I feel like it doesn't really happen anymore, so it's probably just stop saying. But there was like a period of my life, and I was never like suicidal or nothing, but like I felt like, I hated dreaming, because the ones I would remember, it all had me dying, and you know? And that's when I would wake up. I would wake up at the end, you know?
Have you ever dreamed that you died and still kept dreaming?
Nope. It's always waking up. Why, is that like a thing or something? Or like
I'm not sure. I've had dreams where I keep dreaming as an observer.
Yeah, I'm always in it in some way. Then there was a time along that towards the end where like, but I think a part of it where it was, where you're like dreaming but you're awake but you're not, like that type of word. So I think it was mostly because of that, where like those moments would be about to come where I'm gonna die, and then like I guess like I'm sort of partially awake but I'm not. So like I would either understand that this is a dream, or I would just become aware of something
like
enough.
Lucid dreaming?
Yeah, where like, okay, like I understand this is all mine. So then I would probably go on a very vicious attack of whatever was killing me, because I just know like none of this is real. So like all of it is my world, it's my rules, Mm-hmm. And then I would still wake up. But that was like towards the end. But yeah, now dream is like random for me. Like if I get to remember it, and maybe it involves people I've interacted with recently or not. But there's no longer any main things. But yeah. But no, that's it. If you want people to find you online, where should they go?
Probably the best way would be to follow me on Instagram at bolognation.
What's the deal with that name? Because that doesn't say mother at all.
It's my last name.
Okay.
Mixed in with the word nation. My last name's Bologna. It's Italian.
Okay.
It's spelled like bologna.
Got you.
Yeah. And then nation.
Do you like bologna?
I've never had it before in my life.
Shit. That should have been what we started with. I should have just been like, all right, here's some bologna.
But hopefully I'll be updating and posting a lot more stuff on my SoundCloud. So
the same one?
MOTHR, yeah. MOTHR. Yeah. MOTHR.
I think you actually told a story, but I felt like on the hyperlink it had a different name. Was that like your old name? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to go by Legit.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I was like, when I was downloading the song, it said, like, I was like, why is she giving me not her SoundCloud? And it was like, oh, but then it said MOTHR anyway, Uh-huh. But yeah. Yeah,
maybe I'll just make a new SoundCloud for my stuff.
You do whatever feels needs best. Yeah. But the girl I had on last night, I didn't mention it, but she did talk about aliases, but I liked what she was saying, so I was quiet. But I'm kind of anti the idea of like always starting a new alias, because I feel like all you do is, not that you're going to do a new alias, but you're doing a new SoundCloud. So all it does is just restart you back to zero. Like, I'm not the biggest fan. A lot of people love clean states, but I'm like, yeah, but you also cut off your fan base if you have whatever little we have, you know what I mean?
I guess, yeah. I would be okay with starting from scratch at this point.
Yeah, I feel like most would, but I just never understand it. I feel like, but last words?
Last words?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, dang, 2 in a row where we're both like, I don't got no last words for you. But all right, that's it then. Thank you for doing this. This was good.
Yeah.
Bake that chicken, smoke that turkey. Boosh.
Thanks for having me.
ALR on the beat, Tommy Wong on the track, Matt Lee on the brass. Look, I've been broke, I've been rich, Then had a hoe, then had a bitch. Yeah, they still wanna talk about how they just flipped it. They still wanna talk about how they got biscuits. They still wanna talk about how they make the digits. But to me, I'm a giant looking at a bunch of midgets. Yeah, beat me up, Scotty. Mr. Tommy Wong looking for a new hottie. Wanna ride shot it while she gone off the molly. And best believe she just trying to kick it like a holly. Tommy Wong, I'm Kennedy, killing them every minute. They still wanna talk and finish it. I don't care what they heard, cause you know their soul is diminishing. When I come around, I start spitting and straight replenishing. Anything I'm doing, you know they feeling the differences. What I be doing, killing this microphone every instance. T.O. double, man, they run in trouble. I told you before, I'll bring the bass, I'ma bring the trouble.
Now what y'all motherfuckers know about doing this shit? What y'all motherfuckers know about late nights and fucking getting high as a motherfucker doing music and shit? Missing shit. Fuck you.
If you gonna ball the high, you got the blunt. If you gonna ball the fly, you got to stunt. If you gonna ask me why, you know what's up. If you're trying to pacify, you're nothing, Everybody feel chumped up, and everybody say they get crunked up. Now motherfuckers talk about the decibels, but I don't hear them when they get loud, bro. Now let me go. All for the top I roll. It's Mr. Wong. I represented 254 to 210 to the world below. They just know that's how I get down, how I must go. Off the top of topic, wanna hate the fact that I ain't from the projects or maybe your project, but you still just trying to get on my project, and I be looking like stop it, Gon' beat me up, Scotty. Mr. Tommy Wong looking for a new hottie. Right shot it when she gone off the molly. Wanna kick it like a holly. Do the dirty deeds, yeah, that's a problem.